First of all, you want Linda Reynolds to release documents about the future submarines by 9:30 today. Is that likely?
Well, it may not be likely, but it should happen, Peter, and good morning. This is one of the largest defence contracts in our history, and we have a 10-year blowout. We have an 80% increase in the projected costs, and we now have a real issue around whether, in fact, there's going to be sufficient local content for local businesses and workers. Now, the Minister had made a commitment in the Senate in October last year that they would have struck a deal with the major French provider of 60% local content at the very least. They said they would have that done by the end of last year. That hasn't happened. The CEO of Naval is here in Canberra today. At the National Press Club today, the Minister who's presenting a speech must assure the Australian public that indeed 60% at the very minimum of local content has been secured with the French company.
The company says, Brendan, it has agreed to that 60% target, right, that you're speaking about, but it says that if it doesn't, then any penalty should be taken off the profit of the last submarine. But the kicker here is that might not be completed until, what, 30 or 40 years away?
That's right. I mean, there was a commitment that we'd have the first sub in the water by midway through this decade. Now it's no earlier than 2035. The idea that we would look to penalise a contractor in 20 years plus time, that's not going to satisfy local businesses and workers who need the opportunities to work on these submarines. And it's not the commitment that the government made prior to the last election, nor is it what the Minister has said she'd undertaken and secured late last year. Now, the Minister needs to come clean and explain to the Senate, to the Australian public, what commitments have been secured by the Morrison government in relation to this huge contract that requires local content being used, because we need that capability going forward to maintain those assets, and we need to make sure that thousands of Australians are given opportunities of jobs, and local businesses too. That's critical.
Should the deal be called off? Should we be looking elsewhere? Is it too late for that?
Well, these are huge, huge undertakings, and it's not easy to turn around these things and go elsewhere. But we had commitments made by the Prime Minister, the Minister and previous ministers, Christopher Pyne and Maurice Payne, that there would be local content would be at the very least 60%. It would appear that has not been secured, and Minister Reynolds at the National Press Club today must explain what agreement has been struck, whether in fact that commitment that she said would be undertaken and secured by last year has been secured, and if not, why not? And that's not surprising, therefore, therefore it's not surprising that Scott Morrison has commissioned 2 naval officers to look at other options, which really is a vote of no confidence in relation to the role of the Minister for Defence.